if you're not using AI to grow your YouTube channel, you're probably getting way worse results than people that are. Loads of content creators still rely on manually creating scripts, and there's a good reason for it. If you don't know how to use AI, you'll just get some generic garbage, and it's probably the most important part of driving views and subscribers. Tools like ChatGPT are just generally terrible at creating scripts, and that's why the majority of content creators never see any growth. But here's the thing, you don't need to memorize every single detail. You just need to understand the key principles on how to keep your audience engaged, and then you'll start to see real growth with your content. Once you implement this with the right AI tool, it can be explosive. Not only can you generate amazing scripts, but you can cut down your time to create content and make the whole process a lot easier. And I know this works because I've sat down and interviewed some of the world's leading content creators and business owners. I've spent countless hours picking their brains. I've paid to go to their masterminds to learn exactly what works and how they're using AI to create engaging, compelling content that resonates with your viewers. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact formula behind these content creators' explosive growth and how you can use AI at the end, and the one AI tool that's going to make this journey a lot easier. So what actually makes a YouTube channel grow? To explain this, I'm going to have to break this down into a couple different sections. First, I'll go over the foundations, then I'll show you the strategies that actually get results. The first thing and the most crucial is understanding your ICP, your avatar, who you're producing content for. And this is where a ton of creators mess up because they don't think about who they're creating the content for. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So on the right, you see a thumbnail from Mr. Beast. This works flawlessly for his audience, a broad demographic that likes entertainment. It has vibrant colors, shocked expressions, and creates intrigue. But now look at the one on the left. This is Alex Hormozi, and he makes videos for entrepreneurs, a completely different audience. Business owners care less about flashy colors and more about the result. Alex's thumbnails, by contrast, are extremely boring, but they deliver on the promise. And that's why his thumbnails look completely different. And your whole strategy has to take this into your account. Who's the avatar you're building content for? This way we know how to position your material, the subjects you tackle, the language you use, your structure, and even your publishing schedule. It all needs to connect with the person you're trying to create content for. If it doesn't, they'll just scroll past your videos, tank your click rate, or worse, watch the first couple of seconds and then bounce off of the video, telling YouTube that your customer doesn't like this type of content. So this is why understanding your target audience is so critical. Now let's dive into some more technical aspects. When it comes to growing your channel, you really only have two paths. Either you optimize by creating searchable content, focusing on trending subjects, or you cultivate a dedicated community that consumes everything you create, regardless of the subject. Think personal brand. Optimizing for the algorithm works really well for like educational and business content when you need to attract fresh viewers constantly. Community cultivation is superior when you're trying to do vlogs, commentary, or anything more personality driven. The only downside with community focused channels is it's tougher and slower to scale because you're relying on existing fans rather than new discovery. Now I know this sounds all quite complex, but don't worry, I'll show you later on how to use AI to do all the heavy lifting, but that only works if you can grasp the foundations. With that in place, let's move on to the most important part of your YouTube strategy, your content pillars. The purpose of your content pillars is pretty straightforward. Create consistency while also having some variety. Here's what I mean by that. Someone subscribed to your channel because they like AI, for example. It would be really off topic if you started posting lifestyle vlogs vlogs that have nothing to do with AI. They'll think they've subscribed to the wrong channel and they'll just leave. So step one is staying true to your avatar. Next piece is strategic diversity. This is where you produce different styles of content within your niche that serve different purposes. That way viewers remain because they're receiving value on different topics on something they're interested in. But there's more to content strategy than just this. I'll return to this later on. So the idea is pretty simple. You want 3 to 5 content pillars that all serve your audience but in different ways. Then you alternate between them so your channel never feels monotonous, and you can test these out and see what works, cut the ones that don't work, then double down on the content and pillars that are working well. You can stand out here by doing something unique, something that your competitors aren't doing, or approaching the topic in a unique way. And here's why consistency is really, really important. You're establishing patterns and training the algorithm on who to serve your content to and what audience this is for. So your audience starts to anticipate certain types of content from you while they wait for your next upload. And that's the gap that keeps them subscribed. It's the anticipation of what's coming next and the value that was delivered in the last video. So once you've mastered your content pillars, the next stage is to start optimizing your content. And here I'd look at everything from your tags to the description, but most importantly is the congruency between the title, the thumbnail, and the content. Is it congruent? Does it deliver on the promise of why that person clicked on that video in the first place? You can then optimize the video tags and description, and this will help people find what they're searching for and get the algorithm to position it in front of the audience. These two things are what are going to drive clicks and views to your content. This should raise the performance of every one of your videos and make viewers curious to see more of your material. Then in review, you can look at the content you're creating to optimize and add more value. You should be examining your metrics to see where customers are falling off and trying to achieve an average view percentage of 70%. Mr. Beast considers that the holy grail. So what I would do is look at one metric that you're focused on improving each video, test different ideas, see what works, and double down on that. If you just randomly change things without tracking what's going on, you'll end up with poor results. You'll have no idea of what's actually working, and you'll spend months creating content that no one wants to watch. But if you systematically test different ideas, watch the metrics, and see how it changes over time, learning along the way, you can grow very quickly. For each test, give it enough time to gather meaningful data, and also try it in a couple of videos. One is probably not enough to give you a solid data set to be able to make a decision on. Once you have something that's winning, you tie it back into your overall strategy, create a process document with all the things that are working and all the things that aren't working so that you and your team create better content going forward. Another technique that's super powerful is capitalizing on what's working. Think of it this way. Every time you publish a winning piece of content, interest goes up. But if you wait too long, your momentum drops and the customer forgets about that piece of content. This is why you see loads of people creating series. It's like hitting the gas pedal. Something as simple as creating a part 2 or covering a related subject while interest is still high is going to make more viewers subscribe and keep them engaged over the long term. Another thing people forget is creating diversity with your content. Specifically, you want to create top, middle, and bottom of funnel content. If your channel just has the same type of videos, people will start to get bored. But more importantly, you're only going to attract viewers of one stage of the journey. You want to mix it up so that viewers experience different types of content depending on where they are in their awareness. So top of funnel is your awareness stage. These are broad, highly searchable topics that attract new viewers who don't even know you exist. Think trending topics, beginner's guides, and problem-aware content. Middle of funnel content is where you can nurture that interest. Viewers now know who you are, and they're evaluating whether your approach is right for them. This is where you go deeper. Think case studies, comparisons, detailed tutorials. Then you've got bottom of funnel content. This is for your most engaged viewers. These people are ready to take action. This type of content converts viewers into customers or loyal community members. It's specific, actionable, and designed for people who already trust you. Finally, let's discuss the most important part of your channel's growth: your community engagement and retention rate. The goal is to transform your viewers into loyal fans who actively participate in your channel's growth. Help them visualize what they'll gain by staying subscribed to your channel. So now you know the foundations of growing a YouTube channel. You know the key areas, the metrics to track, and you have a strategy. We've built an AI tool to help you generate ideas and create scripts 10 times faster than if you were doing it manually or using ChatGPT. And in the next video, I'll show you exactly how to use that to make your life a lot easier.